So we've talked about different types of migration, particularly forced and voluntary migration. Now, what are the effects of people moving to other countries? Well, we can see brain drain. When highly skilled and educated individuals emigrate, the country loses valuable human capital and parts of their labor pool. And that can weaken its not only its economy, but its political influence and global standing. Immigration can lead to shortages in key economic sectors, particularly if young skilled workers leave. And that can impact skilled industries like healthcare, education, and tech. Money sent back home by immigrants can provide significant support to families, boosting household incomes and local economies. Immigration typically does involve younger people. Remember the laws of migration. Younger people, particularly younger males, are more likely to move internationally as well. So lots and lots of immigrations could lead to a higher aging population in a home country. And that can strain social services and create generational imbalances and creates a more elderly involved workforce as well. Immigration can lead to, of course, separation of families, and that can affect family dynamics. Governments may lift immigration restrictions or implement pro-natalist policies, though, to encourage CBR growth as a result of high amounts of immigration. So this is a map showing average immigration of scientists. So we're looking at here brain drain. And we can see here there are 2 countries in Africa with lots and lots of brain drain. Look at like Bangladesh. There's a good bit of people leaving that country as well. Ireland, lots of people leaving that country as well. So we could assume there may be a lack of opportunities or just enough opportunities. In Africa, I'm sure there's a lack of opportunity in Sudan compared to other countries within Africa as well. So yeah. Here we go. Top 10 countries where foreigners say they would work. So these are countries people would move to if they want jobs. And the USA is number 1. The UK is number 2. And Canada is number 3. Sweden, though, is number 10. I don't know why I thought that was important. It is important, but I just thought I would share that with you. Why are they moving to America, though? What jobs are there? Well, there's a lot of tech jobs, for say. So there are many spots for tech jobs, like San Francisco and Raleigh and Austin and Nashville. San Francisco is like up there, though. But that is changing a little bit. So, yeah. We can see here that foreigners are brain draining away from countries, and they are moving to countries where they want to get job opportunities. And for the most part, that's in North America, Europe, and Australia. And there are particular places within those countries that they're going to move to as well when we change up the scale. Economic impacts on destination countries. What happens here? Well, that can add available low-wage labor pool. If we have people moving from their country, particularly refugees or people just trying to escape their country, they may just be trying to find any economic opportunity possible, especially if they're not skilled in certain areas. So employers see them as low-wage interests, and that's something that employers like because they get to pay them less and they can save more money. They're not going to pay them below minimum wage. They're not going to break the law, but they're not going to pay them, a super high wage. There could be competition, though, for locals. For limited jobs, you have more people and not a lot of job creation. This can lead to competition. We see the additional costs on the receiving country to provide basic services, particularly government public services, whether that be housing, food, education, or healthcare. We see higher taxes, possibly, increased demand for goods and services that may result in price increases, strain on natural resources, refugee camps that are financially dependent on the receiving country. They could lead to security risks for the receiving country. Refugees may provide skills and knowledge, like doctors from Iraq now work in Pakistan. There's knowledge now in Pakistan. What are the social impacts? We can see an enrichment of local culture through new traditions, cuisine, and arts. We see multiculturalism now, the presence of different cultures within an area. We see cultural exchange as well. But we can also see tension and division from the diversity of cultures. They may clash with one another or disagree. We can see challenges in integrating immigrants into society. We can see population growth and changes in age demographics. Most migrants are young men, so we may see a more male-dominated country. In the UAE, where they have a lot of guest workers, that's a male, particularly a younger male-dominated country. We can see increased employment and education enrollment just in numbers, as well as greater demand for healthcare services. If you have more people living in an area, more people in quantity are probably going to get sick or lead poisoning. We see an increased demand for housing, and that could lead to shortages. We can see a strain on social services and welfare systems, and a need to expand social support programs. What are the political impacts? We could see a development or a revision of immigration laws to manage the influx of migrants. Maybe they want to increase the migrants or decrease it. They could lead to different groups, as well as a political culture that represents migrant interests, and lobby for policy changes that do either support or not support those migrants. Migration become a central issue in political debates, particularly if there's a lot of immigrants coming into the country, and that can influence election outcomes and party platforms and focuses. Migrants may support certain political parties, increasing their prominence and reach and changing voter patterns. They can influence diplomatic relations, and that can be positive or negative. Local governments may develop specific policies to address the unique needs and challenges of migrant populations. Certain cities in countries like the United States have more migrant populations than others, so those local governments may need to address them at different rates. What are the environmental impacts in the destination country? Well, we can see urbanization with lots of people moving to cities, causing urban sprawl, which is uncontrollable urban growth, as well as changes to the land, where we turn agricultural land into very densely populated urban developments. But we also see green spaces develop within those cities. We see an increased need for housing and infrastructure because we have to support more people now, and that can lead to lots of construction activities, and that can impact ecosystems and landscapes. We can see waste because you have more people now and more trash to deal with, and that can challenge waste management systems and possibly lead to pollution. More people means more vehicles on the road, which can lead to traffic congestion and emissions. There can be greater demands for food and put pressure on agriculture systems. It can lead to the overuse of pesticides or fertilizers when creating these crops, or it can just lead to food shortages if you can't get enough food for the big population. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really does help me out, and it costs $0. I have some free resources for you in the description down below if you'd like to use them. If you have any AP Human Geography related questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below the video or send me a message on Discord. I'll see you guys in the next video, though. Adios.